What if you are somebody who can't currently break down plants? We've all heard the latest craze on the internet, everyone talking about how plants are trying to kill them, anti-nutrients, lectins. So what is the truth behind this? It's a little bit complicated, but plants are not trying to kill you. It just feels that way because your gut bacteria are not primed to break down plants. If you're somebody who has a lot of trouble eating fruit, if you're somebody who gets really bloated and uncomfortable after a salad, and you hear about these carnivore diets and that sounds like an amazing choice for you because it's easy to digest and it's simple, that's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. So you've temporarily solved the problem for sure because you've taken away all of the foods that cause a trigger. But if you're eating this diet because all of these other healthy foods that we've been known to eat and thrive on since the beginning of human history, if these foods are not accessible to you, you have an underlying problem. If something is bad for somebody, you know, if I have a cup full of arsenic, for example, and I drink it, and somebody with an unhealthy microbiome drinks it, and somebody with a moderate microbiome, we're all gonna get sick. Poison is poison. But how can something like a plant food help some people thrive and feel amazing and live their best lives, and other people feel absolutely terrible and can't break it down? The truth is in your microbes. This is why some people can thrive on plant-based diets and some people cannot. If you're somebody who aspires to be on a plant-based diet or a more plant-forward, plant-focused diet, but currently your body isn't supporting that choice, that's okay, you can change it. If you're somebody who currently isn't thriving on a plant-based diet and you want to, that's okay, you can change it. We just have to change the type of bacteria in your gut and what they're capable of in order to help you really thrive. So if your microbiome isn't able to break down all these plant foods, and you just eliminate all the plant foods, what you've done is you've alleviated your symptoms, but you've created a microbiome starvation diet. So what we need is this diversity, and instead you're making sure that there is none. And that will work as long as you make sure there's none and you never add in new foods, but your immune cells are not going to thrive and you might not respond to external threats very well. Your immune system isn't going to be very supported. Over time, your hormones and your weight might not be where you want it as well. So these are extreme diets and they do work in the short term. So when someone tells you it really worked for them, they're not wrong, but it really worked in eliminating all of their symptoms. What we want to do is actually address the root causes that led to somebody being highly intolerant to many plant foods. So ways of doing that in the beginning is not to suddenly try to overload your body and get to these 30 different plants per week. You can kind of get there with the green powders and green juices. That I do recommend because they're quite easy to digest. But we are going to do it with fermented foods and slow reintroduction of different foods. So I'll talk about how to do it if you're primarily plant-based and how to do it if you're nowhere near plant-based and you're really struggling. But liquids, in the meantime, if you're having a lot of trouble with fiber or you have a medical condition that's stopping you from consuming enough fiber, green liquids are your best friend. You can still get all of the enzymes and the nutrients that you would get from plant foods without all that roughage that maybe you don't have the correct gut bacteria to break down.